Hello and welcome to this peaceful little corner of House Jorasco for our level 8 episode of Trials of the Tempest. We're looking a little bit silly with this persistent air bubble around our head from the always on Fialan buffs, but very nice to have, and the energy resists in particular, and the big bonus to the jump skill super useful to have. So that's great. We've been doing pretty well. We're through the Feywild and the Three Barrel Cove. Didn't do too bad in either. I, excuse me, I made a little note about this growing storm. I was on the point of discarding it because it wasn't triggering. And then I realised why. You have to actually. I'm not sure if it's hit something or at least try to hit something. If there's no opponent in the immediate vicinity, it does an animation like you saw there, but we don't see any sign of a buff going off. We have to, I think, at least be trying to strike something with it for it to go off. So what I typically do is hit the 2 boosts, the Reaper's Strike, the haste boost, and then go with the growing storm. And then as long as there's an opponent nearby, of course. And that seems to work reasonably well. So, we have, I think we've more or less everything we want in here. I think the next next 3 I will put into, actually I could do it now, couldn't I? Into the defences, PRR when dual wielding. That sounds pretty good. We're going to be at 30 points in here, way in advance of the time needed to, because we would have to wait till level 12 to take these tier 5s, of course. So that leaves me with the option of doing some bits and pieces in the cat tree. I'm not sure about. I don't think the things in here are that strong until you get to the 3rd core. So maybe, yeah, maybe the odd point in the cat tree, maybe a couple in Harper for 1 to hit and damage on the weapon, something like that. It just feels like, enhancement wise at least, we're kind of waiting now for the tier 5s here. I think we'll be taking that one, and this one. The only one we won't take is the evasive dance. Otherwise, I did notice while questing in the 3 barrel, and particularly against the shaman and warlocks that there are in there, casting holds and slows and that kind of thing, when you get some kind of a slow on you, the haste boost does cancel that out, which is nice. And I would imagine as well, if this belt triggers with the black scale ferocity giving the haste spell, I would imagine that would cancel the slow as well. Of course, if you're lucky enough to have the Eternal Flask of Freedom of Movement from a Champion Hunter weekend for Remnant, then you likely won't need that kind of stuff, but we're not in that situation at the moment. I look forward to us being in that situation soon, hopefully. If there's a champion weekend we can take advantage of. I noticed in our gear we had another mysterious cloak equipped with a Sapphire of Heavy Fort and a Diamond of Dexterity, which is obviously minimum level 8 because those 2 augments are minimum level 8. So I've equipped that. I would have liked to add a dodge augment because I've noticed we're a little bit down on the max dodge we could be. Although in Reaper mode we have 10 against an 11 max, so it's probably overkill to add a dodge thing in there. Right, I think that's about it for the waffle. Is it for 8? Level 2 spells, nothing overly appealing. I added Summon Nature's Ally too, just for a bit of a distraction, but I don't see myself using that too often, to be honest. I think that's about it as far as the waffle. But yes, if you do have a go with the growing storm, make sure that you are actually trying to hit an opponent with it and not just trying to set it off, while closing with opponents, because then you'll have the unpleasant experience I did, and it'll go on cooldown and nothing will happen. I think it does say in the description, attacks an opponent. So I don't know if you actually need to hit to trigger it or just to attack. I suspect it's just to attack with an opponent in range. So let's have a go at the Redwillow ruins for our level 8 episode. Picking up the quest does help. Okay, you can actually get a scimitar from one of the optional boss chests, but I don't think we'll be doing said optional, so I don't think we'll see it. It's nothing special, it's just a keen scimitar level 4 with a slot. So if you, I suppose people could like to farm for that if they weren't having any luck with the auction house. It just comes down to something very similar to the two we have here. Level 4 with keen and a red slot, so maybe a little better if you can stomach the farming. That's just reminded me to keep checking the auction house just in case I find any kind of scimitar on there. I've been picking up all the loot, but so far I think I've only found one scimitar. Let's give the summon spider a try. Anything it can just kind of distract for a second or two is helpful, I suppose. So 2 boosts and now growing storm. We did actually hit with it there, I think. Immediately after triggering growing storm, I try and use our AoE, the cat scratch, to hit multiple targets and so ramp up the damage from it. At level 9, oh, scimitar! Nothing to write home about, but it's nice to see one drop. At level 9 we will of course have the whirling, what's it called now? I've forgotten what it's called. We've been building up to it for so long. Is it whirling strike or something? Whirlwind strike. So we'll be able to have the benefit of that to ramp up the... Now I don't know if you saw that there. I tried with the growing storm, sort of flailed into the void because I had no target immediately available there, and of course the buff didn't trigger. So you do need to be definitely aiming at something, and I think probably you need to hit something for it to trigger. We'll investigate that further with this lot here, I think. Let's see what we do here. So pressing it now, there we go, we hit something there definitely, and now we're away. I think we mopped that lot up pretty handily. But we do see, even with all the boosts running there, the lack of AoE is certainly hurting us. So hopefully when the whirlwind arrives, it's just around the corner. After this quest I will be taking it. Hopefully then we can make more of impression on these big groups of opponents, which should stand us in better stead in quests full of packs of things like the the two dragonborn ones in the marketplace, for instance. That was a big hit. Light damage. I think another nice thing about the Fiarlan buffs, they have added to our strength as well, so we are able to carry plenty of stuff now, not having to cherry pick what we take from the chest. And yes, provided you hit something with it, the growing storm always seems to trigger, which is nice, because I was thinking initially when I saw this behaviour and struggling to get it to trigger, I thought, oh, it's another one like the adrenaline that people are writing about in the forums that is not triggering or has an invisible cooldown or something, and people are not getting the proper use out of it, and so getting a bit frustrated, which I can totally understand. I think ultimately you're not going to invest points in something that should do something but works a different way. I guess just as in the same way something that is bugged to do something that it shouldn't, people are going to invest in an exploit, aren't they, if you are that way inclined. I hope there is a shrine here. Oh, I haven't spoken to the main one yet, have I? What's happening here? Find... Oh my god. Why do I always have to forget one of the items? Do you know, what a muppet. So it's not down that way, is it? It's over this way. I think it was the 3, yes, it says 3 personal assistants, so it's the 3 that were in the troll area here. More of an illustration, as if that were necessary, of the fact I struggle horribly to multitask. So if I'm talking about something, trying to illustrate a point, I'm not focusing on the quest at hand.
Redwillow described. Return them to the halflings at Redwillow's camp.
Let's pretend that didn't happen, shall we?
You have returned the items to their caretakers. Inform Redwillow of your... Redwillow has opened a gate.
Now, is there a shrine anywhere here? I was hoping there would be, and there isn't, is there? Okay. So we have 1. Oh, we're going to have to hold our last charges for the end. So this isn't going to be too good, because we're going to get absolutely swamped here.
Deposit you into the center of a long overgrown ruin.
I did at least make sure the growing storm triggered, but without the other boosts. So this is the kind of thing I would like to be able to do without penalty. And the oh, before we got feared, we better focus on that caster. The spring attack would apparently allow us to do that, because it gives a passive that allows you to do that kind of thing. We've got growing storm coming off cooldown again. Hit something else. Go, go, go. So we're taking quite a bit less damage than we would, I think, if we just stood toe to toe and traded. Now, do we see a shrine anywhere here? I don't see a shrine anywhere here. but the extra heal lamp from the mysterious cloak is helping our healing bottles to give us at least a bit more. Growing storm again. So yes, provided we hit something with it, it's working quite nicely.
Well fortified and guarded.
I'll try and block this hole up so they can't attack us more than one or two at once. And we've got the boss down there as well. Okay, boosts are going in. I'm going to hit the growing storm as well if I can. I pressed the wrong key. Keep bringing up the XP window. There's a Fear Reaper in there which I need to... Oh my goodness. We're not going to make it, are we? Trying to heal. Can't get rid of the fear. I think we're on the floor, aren't we? Are we dead? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, hurry up and die already. I would have done a bit better perhaps if I could have found a shrine and... Are we back up again? My god. Can't believe it. Switch the weapons over. We have a small chance here of succeeding, I think. Got the growing storm back on again. Keep moving. Get that boss out of the way. Come on, we might be able to do this. Yes! Talk about salvaging victory from the jaws of defeat. Wow. The Fialan buffs, by the way, if you die, they disappear as well. Just out of interest. So you could see illustrated as well there the issue I have with the healing. In combat with the Reaper penalty, these potions are really not worth too much, if anything. The time you take to chug one, they're already smacking you down for that much, if not more. So that is an issue. Still, I'm hoping we might be nearing the end of our pain on that score, because now I will be going and taking 9 and getting the whirlwind attack, so we'll have the cat scratch and the whirlwind. We'll have 2 sources of AoE, so hopefully that might stand us in better stead. I could have summoned the spider thing again, but it's going to die in one shot, I think, to most things, so I don't think I'll bother too much with that. I think that about wraps it up for this one. It was a bit more squeaky bum time than I had intended. In fact, the enemies were properly robbed there, weren't they? They were well worth a purple kill there. So yes, look forward to doing a little bit better with the AoE, and I'm totally of the opinion that I have made our task more difficult than it need have been by not getting the whirlwind attack at 6, like with a bit more planning I could have done. So let's see how we go on moving forward. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you in the next one. Take care.